Have you ever opened up a lab report and felt your eyes glaze over almost instantly? Well, if so, you are definitely not alone. At RMA, we talk to business owners and facility managers and EHS directors all the time who say the exact same thing. I got this analytical report from my lab. I have no idea what it means. Here's the truth. Not understanding your lab data is not just a minor paperwork hiccup. Misinterpreting those results can land you in some serious hot water. We're talking about regulatory violations, costly fines, reputational damage, and in some cases, real risks to your employees and the environment. And the kicker is this: their regulators don't care if you didn't understand the report. They expect you to know what it says and to take action if there's a problem. So hey, let's talk about it. Hey there, I'm Tate Hunter with RMA, your environmental experts. We help businesses every day to understand their lab reports and to stay in compliance with NPDES regulations. Let's break down what's actually inside one of these reports, why they're so easy to misread, and why relying on experts to interpret them could be the difference between compliance and chaos. First, the structure. Analytical reports are packed with technical detail. You'll see long tables full of chemical concentrations, detection limits, and acronyms that look like alphabet soup. Things like EPA method codes. Sometimes the report will compare results to regulatory thresholds, but not always. And then there are narrative notes written by the lab. People might skip right over these sections, but they can completely change how the results should be understood. On the surface, it looks like numbers on a page, but each number ties directly to your regulatory obligations. And that is where the risk comes in. One of the most common mistakes that we see is assuming that non-detect means zero. Hey, it doesn't. It simply means that the chemical wasn't present above the lab's reporting limit. And that limit might actually be higher than the regulatory threshold that you need to meet. So in other words, your report could say non-detect while you're technically still out of compliance. Another mistake? Missing exceedances that are buried deep in the tables. These reports can be long, dozens of pages, and it's easy to skim past one line that makes all the difference. Regulators won't miss it though, and once they see it, hey, you're already in violation. And then there's the challenge of state-by-state differences. A result that's acceptable in one state may not meet the standard in another. We've seen clients with facilities in multiple states accidentally apply the wrong rules, thinking they were fine, until an inspector pointed out otherwise. We even see cases where businesses ignore the flags or notes that labs include in reports. Those flags might signal an invalid result, a detection issue, or a quality control problem. Bottom line, if you don't catch these details, regulators will, and that can be expensive. We worked with a client at one point that thought that their stormwater reports looked totally fine. Lots of non-detects, small numbers, nothing alarming. But during an inspection, the regulators compared the data to the permit requirements, and they found multiple violations. That mistake cost the company thousands of dollars in fines, not to mention the hassle of months of corrective actions. Had they asked us to review the reports earlier, we could have caught the issues immediately and helped them avoid the penalties. And that's why we say, hey, analytical reports aren't just numbers on a page. They're compliance landmines if they're misread. Now, you can learn to read these reports by yourself, but the reality is most business owners and facility managers just don't have the time or the interest to become a part-time chemist. So that's where we come in. When RMA reviews a report, we don't just hand you a summary. We explain what the data means in plain language, the way that you and I actually talk. We tell you whether you're compliant, what needs immediate action, what you should do next. Think of us as your translator. The lab gives you numbers, we give you the roadmap. And that roadmap can make all the difference. We help clients spot problems before regulators do, avoid unnecessary spending, and build action plans that keep their facilities safe and compliant. Most importantly, we give them peace of mind. So, if you've got a report sitting on your desk right now that you're not completely confident about, don't ignore it. Don't assume you're fine, and definitely don't wait for regulators to tell you otherwise. Reach out to us here at RMA, and let's walk through it together. Hey, it's faster, it's easier, it is far cheaper than dealing with fines, inspections, and legal headaches after the fact.